Chainbreakers presents The Unspoken Truth, Motherhood.
How would you rate your overall satisfaction with being a mother from 0 to 10, with 10 being extremely satisfied?
I would give motherhood a 5. I don't know. I wasn't ready, when I found out I was pregnant, I really didn't want to keep my baby. And my mom, she was like, why would you do that? Why would you not keep it? I didn't do that to you. So I'm like, okay, I feel bad. So, I went through with it, and she's like, you're not the first single mother. You won't be the last. Because I already knew I was going to be a single mother. And at the time I was working on my bachelor's degree, and I was working 2 jobs already. So, I just knew that a baby didn't fit into life at the time. But, I've been swinging it, making it work. My baby is 9 now. And it's definitely a struggle, like basic things, like even going to work, you always got to figure out who want to watch your child and if they're in, safe care. And, my baby eat like a grown man right now. So I'm like, it's always struggles, and then you think when you get over one hump, you thinking, okay, it's smooth sailing, but it'd be a whole bunch of different struggles. So that's just what I think about motherhood. But that don't take away from the fact that I love my son. But being a single mother is very tacky and ghetto.
So I would definitely rate my experience right now as a 5 as well. Motherhood is definitely difficult. I started out young as well. I was 17 years old when I had my first child. She is now 22. And she kind of made some of the same mistakes that I did. So definitely it's a huge struggle. And, I have several children. So dealing with different personalities and trying to meet the needs of each child is definitely hard. And they're different age ranges as well. So that's definitely a struggle. And just, learning how to now in my older age deal with children, period. So what I know now, I would definitely do a lot of things differently. So I'm trying to enforce some of those things that I've learned in their daily life now.
What was your reaction when you first found out that you were going to be a mother?
All right. My first reaction, well, I really I didn't think I could have kids really, based on some prior experiences in life. So I really was shocked initially. And like the first day was okay. The second day, not so much, because my son's father already had kids. And I don't think he was wanting another one. So he was like, well, why are you keeping it? So that didn't make me excited, like, dang, this is my first kid. And I already see the dad ain't want nothing, he don't want nothing to do with a baby. So I already knew, it was going to be me trying to do this by myself. So that made me like, dang, do I want it? Do I want to go through this whole process? So I would say like the whole experience of, carrying a child mostly was kind of like depressing because, having your first child, you would, I would assume most women would want that family, life or that family structure or whatever. But it's like, I guess it was like the realization like, well, dang, I made a mistake. And that's just something I got to, that's a mistake I got to live with the rest of my life. But it's not really, it's not really a mistake, because I feel like if it wasn't meant for me to have a child, he wouldn't be here. So that was my experience with finding out.
First 3 times, I was totally shocked. The very first time, all 3 times, I was like, what are my parents going to think? That was my number one. What are my parents going to think? Because they are huge on, my dad was huge on education, wanted me to go to school. My mom was more, this doesn't look right. However, I had no intentions on doing anything different with my first child. However, the second two, I did. I said, yeah, I don't really want these children, these two kids, and I attempted to terminate the pregnancy, but I just couldn't get out the car. So, needless to say, they're 17 and 19 now, and then my 11-year-old was playing pretty much. So that would be that one was no shock, but yeah, the first 3 times definitely was. Yeah, I was horrified. Didn't know what I was going to do. Single mother each and every time. So definitely was scary.
Was your pregnancy planned? And what was the situation with the child's father?
My pregnancy was not planned. I actually was very shocked. And I would say the situation with his father was he was like kind of in and out throughout the pregnancy, not very much support there. And it was kind of depressing a lot of times, like going to my appointments because I would see other women with their, the child's fathers there with them. So it was kind of like a lonely process. But I don't know, I made it through. And it is what it is. I don't regret anything. It definitely has been a eye opener and a life-changing experience, I would say.
My first child, like I said, definitely unplanned. My father wanted me to terminate the pregnancy. I was 16 at the time when I got pregnant, and her father was 25. I did not know how old he was. But overall, the pregnancy was okay. I had a very good support system, and I continued to have that. So that was no issue. My son, my second child, I did not want anything to do with his father. So it's kind of reverse situation. We definitely, I said, if you decide that you're going to keep this child, you will not ask him for anything. And my son has never met his father. He's talked to him on the phone a couple of times. My third child, once again, definitely unplanned. However, I remained with her and my last child's father for about 16 years. Very emotional pregnancy. She came prematurely. She spent about 2 weeks in the hospital, almost lost her. The fourth pregnancy was definitely kind of one of the best ones, I would definitely say. Like I said, she was planned, and we had been together for some time, already had a child together. So it was definitely more of an easy pregnancy.
Do you believe that motherhood benefits women?
Hell no, to the no. Hell to the no. Girl, first of all, you absolutely can lose yourself, your whole identity as a person being a mother. I was on that path initially, like I was so all about my child. Like I would go in the store and I'd pick him up stuff and I would pick me up something. I put my stuff back because I'm like, it's all about my child. You know what I'm saying? I stopped getting my hair done, stop, doing the normal stuff that, women do for themselves until I had someone tell me like, you can't pour from an empty cup. So like you still have to take care of you. You have to make sure you are good first, because if you don't make sure you're good, you are nothing for your child. So I feel like if there's no balance there, then no, I don't feel like it benefits women. I think that's why women like ultimately have like, snap. If they don't have the support, how these women be harming their kids and all this stuff. I feel like, people don't understand. Like it can be a constant job. Like if you don't have someone that can just give you a break sometimes, just give you some time for yourself. Because, people are quick to look down on you like, well, you laid down and made the baby, blah, blah. Okay, that's fine. But the baby is here and I need help. I need some support. I don't need you to keep kicking me. I know I made a mistake. You know what I'm saying? If it was a mistake or however. So I just feel like people are always down in mothers. no matter what. Whether you're a good mom, people going to have something to say. Whether they feel like you're an unfit mother, people going to have something to say. Me, I'm like, always been kind of like a workaholic. So I work a lot, and my son would be away from me a lot. So people would have something to say. But if I was to be like, poor, people would have something to say. So I'm like, it's like, it's never a never ending struggle for a woman, because there's no, like, others will always feel like you're wrong somehow. Just being a mother, you're always wrong, and they will always be trying to kick you instead of helping and supporting.
No, I'll pick it back up on what she said. We are, no matter what, you are the sole provider for the child, mama's baby, daddy's baby. Even in a married situation, you can always end up being a single parent. Even when you have to work, or like I've been out here, in California working, but it's perceived, or as has been said, that I abandoned my children. No, I'm out here working in order to provide for my children, so that when I come back home, I don't have to work those 40, 60 plus hour work weeks. So it does not benefit women at all. No. And in any situation, whether you're trying to better yourself or help your family, it is frowned upon. I've been told several times, you need to raise your kids, you need to be with your kids. But essentially, that is what I am doing. I'm trying to provide a better life for them when I get back.
What double standards do you despise the most?
Okay. Well, I am going to agree with what she said. I just think that it's crazy that men can just walk away and, just live like they don't have children out here. And, women, I'm not going to say it ain't mothers who do that. It's less common. But, we don't get that luxury just to walk away. Because who won't care for the kids? So you can't be sick. Because you, like, literally, one time I was sick in bed, throwing up, can't move, don't know how I'm gonna feed my baby, and he was actually a baby. Like I needed some help. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you get upset because it's like, well, dang, I'm not the only parent. Like, I should be able to call his dad right now or whatever. Like, come get your child. I literally cannot do nothing for him. You know what I'm saying? But just the fact that they can just help create something and just act like they don't exist. But when women do it, they be all type of deadbeat moms, and like, again, women going to always get talked about regardless of however they handle being a mother or not being a mother.
I don't know if this would be a double standard, but kind of reverting back to what she said, how if a woman doesn't take care of her child, she's definitely frowned upon, but men can leave at any moment. However, if a man is taking care of his child or has full custody of his child, he is praised to the gods. We are not. We are, like, this is everyday life stuff. You don't get rewards for doing things that you should be doing. But most good fathers or men who have full custody of their children are just absolutely praised. However, women, that's we're just supposed to do that. That's just what we're born to do. That's just how life is. You're supposed to take care of whatever you birthed into the world and be a mother. And I cannot stand that.
Have you ever thought about walking away from your children? And if so, what stopped you?
Honey, look, so when my son was 2, he got diagnosed with autism. And when I tell you that was so rough, because like the behaviors and stuff was like, I didn't know what to do. First of all, this is my first child, so I already don't know what to do. But like, that made it so much harder. And I literally was ready to just pack his stuff up and drop him off over with his daddy and them, the grandma, somebody. Cause I didn't sign up for this. But I don't know, just I already had like experience working with special needs kids, and I got him some therapy and different stuff. Like he has come a long ways, but mothers who have to deal with kids who are a bit more difficult, it's rough. And like my son was getting kicked out of daycare. My son got kicked out of more daycares and had more write-ups than I ever had my whole life put together with all the years I've had in school. So like, that stuff is like makes it so much more, that's a whole nother struggle that, I don't feel like people really talk about, mothers who have kids who need extra assistance in different areas.
With me, I have not. I never thought about that. And I would say that because before I decided to walk through those doors, or not have that procedure done, I told myself, I said, now this is gonna be all on you. It's all on you. And so I had already kind of had that mindset when I decided not to go through with it. And that's just kind of where it went from there with me. So I was like, you in it for the long haul, sis. And I just took it one day at a time.
With the knowledge and wisdom that you have today, if you could go back, would you do it again?
If I could go back, I would still have my son. I think I would have went ahead and got through school first, found my way for myself, as far as what career path I want to take, or, be more settled in life, and probably waited till about 30-ish before I had a child. Because by then I'd feel like, I done, accomplished some things. I done did some traveling and seen some places, and I wouldn't feel like having a child was putting any extra stress on life. Because trying to go through school and, trying to figure out you while having to, while being a mother is, a bit more difficult. But other than that, I don't think I would change anything.
Definitely waited until I was a little further along in life. I would say that I would have, just from a patient standpoint, because I had my first child when I was 17, my second when I was 19, and then about 21 when I had my third. However, when I had my fourth, I was 28. So with that being said, I developed a lot more patience. And as of right now, I have a lot more patience with my younger child than I had with my older children. And it wasn't because, I wanted to run the streets or anything. It was just because, I was juggling so much in life, school, work, trying to have a relationship and all of that stuff, to where, it just wasn't enough time in the world that I could give to them. So I would definitely wait until I was older and more stable to have them, but I wouldn't change it.
Would you choose the same father for your children again?
That's another hell no for me. Oh, because I just feel like I would rather, if I could go back, I would have a different baby daddy. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who wanted to be a father, somebody who was excited about, every step of the process of being a dad. Every appointment and hearing the heartbeat and seeing the first steps and, like the whole process. Somebody who was wanting that, I think that would have made my experience of being, my first child and really going to be my only child. I think that would have made it more special. So as far as what would I tell him, I would just tell him he ain't shit, but I'm sure he knows. I'm sure he knows that. But at the end of the day, I feel like life is peaceful with him being kind of out the picture. I think sometimes that is the advantage of being a single mother. You don't have to answer to nobody, and you don't have to deal with some of the stress that will come along with the man trying to dictate what's going on with your child?
I would definitely choose differently. I would definitely choose differently. I would definitely choose someone that was more mature, had more mature thinking, a different family maybe. Yeah, I would definitely choose differently. One piece of advice that I would give them would be to grow up, be more responsible, to treat your daughters as almost if you're dating them, so that they don't choose an individual like you. Be a son to your excuse me, be a father to your son. Give them what you never had, things like that, so that they don't make those same mistakes that you did.
What advice would you give to your younger self or to another fellow younger woman?
The best advice I would give to myself or another younger woman would be basically like to love yourself and, get comfortable in your path in life before involving someone else in your life, before dating, before anything. Like, just be in tune with who you are, what makes you happy, where you want to go in life, and let that be your priority till you're comfortable in that, and then start venturing out and adding people in.
I would say love yourself, definitely. Set boundaries. Write a list of things that you want versus things that you don't want. Listen to yourself. Trust yourself. If it doesn't seem right, it's not right. And again, just I can't say enough just to love yourself. And like I said, set those boundaries, and just believe people for who they are the first time. We'll say that. If someone shows you who they are, believe them and listen to your gut.
Thank you for listening to The Unspoken Truth.